I'll do the Mangalacharan, Mataji.
Yes, please go ahead.
ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमाप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नाम चिन्तामणि कृष्णश्चैतन्य रसविग्रह पूर्णशुद्धो नित्यमुक्तो अभिन्नत्वं नाम नामिनो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे. I'll be doing the Gita Mahatmya shlokas. गीतशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं या पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णुपदमवाप्नोति भयशोकादिवर्जितः गीतध्यायनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च मलिने मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीतामृतस्नानं संसारमलनाशनम् गीतसुगीतकर्तव्य किम् अन्यै शास्त्रविस्तरे यः स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिश्रित भरतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णुवक्त्राद्विनिश्रितं गीतगङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्मापि एकं तस्य देवस्य सेव हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Second. Hare Krishna everyone. Is my screen, is everyone able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Radhi, we can see.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. Today, I would be speaking about chapter 14, which is entitled as The Three Modes of Material Nature. So, I thank Sachi Mataji and Ramakrishna Prabhu for providing me this opportunity. I personally, I don't have the qualification to speak. I'm just trying to understand something. So, I'll try to discuss what I've understood in this chapter. So let's see how this chapter is connected to the previous chapter. So in 13.22, the Lord, and in the previous chapters also, the Lord says that the jiva is bound to this material nature by the three modes, which is the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So in this chapter, the Lord discusses about how the devotee, how a jiva is uh, conditioned to the three modes of material nature. So he will talk about the three modes in detail in this chapter. So the key verse which is connecting chapter 13 and 14 is 13.22. So this chapter is divided into three sections. So from section 1 to 13, it is conditioning of the soul by the material modes. 14 to 18 discusses about effects of conditioning by the modes, and 19 to 21 of how talks about how to transcend the modes of material nature by becoming gunatita. So section 1 talks about the conditioning of the soul by the material modes. So, from text 1 to 2, the Lord glorifies the knowledge that He is going to deliver in this chapter. He is done similarly in chapters 9 and chapter 7 and chapter 10. So, in this chapter also, the Lord is glorifying the knowledge that He is about to give. So, the Lord says that this is the supreme of all the knowledge, is the supreme wisdom, and that all the sages have attained supreme perfection knowing this knowledge. And by understanding this knowledge, it helps one in the path of self-realization. So in texts 1 and 2, the Lord is basically glorifying the knowledge which is about to deliver in this chapter. And Srila Prabhupada, in the purport of text 2, he says that anyone who understands the knowledge in the 14th chapter, he attains perfection. So this way, the Lord is glorifying the knowledge which he is going to give in text 1 and 2. After glorifying the knowledge, the Lord talks about how a jiva takes birth in this material world, and he talks about the relationship between the Lord, the jiva, and material nature. So can anyone read text 4? Okay, I'll read.
सर्वयोनिषु कौन्तेय मूर्तया सम्भवन्ति तासां ब्रह्म महद्योनिरहं बीजा प्रदापिता. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father.
Thank you so much, Devyani. So the Lord is saying that Aham Bija Pradapita means I am the seed-giving father. So the Lord, just by his glance on the material nature, he impregnates the material nature, and that is how the material nature provides the jiva. It supplies the jiva with the body, and that is how we take birth in this material world. So the Lord is the supreme cause for our birth in this material world, and the material nature is providing us the body. So we seem to come out as products from the material nature. So how can we understand that? How can we understand this? That the Lord is the supreme father, Aham Bija Pradapita. How can we understand that? We can understand by an analogy. So the scorpion lays its eggs in piles of rice, and sometimes it is said that the scorpion is born out of rice. But the rice is not the cause of the scorpion. Actually, the eggs were laid by the mother. Similarly, the material nature is not the cause of the birth of the living entities. The seed is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but we only seem to come out as products of material nature. So a scorpion, it lays its eggs in rice, but it's usually said that the scorpions are born out of the rice, but the main cause of those eggs from in the rice is the scorpion. So similarly, the main cause of our birth is the Lord, but we just seem to come out from the material nature. So the material nature is the mother. In 14.3, the Lord says that the material nature is the mother, and in 14.4, he says that I am the seed giving father, aham bija prada pita. So that is the meaning of the like phrase aham bija prada pita. I am the seed giving father. So after discussing about how the jivas take birth in this material world, the Lord talks about how jivas are placed under the control of the three modes of material nature. So in text 5, the Lord introduces the three modes of material nature. He says that the three modes of material nature are the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So what are the characteristics of a person in mode of goodness? So a person in mode of goodness is always happy, and he's active, and he's free from all sinful reactions. So usually the representative type of the mode of goodness is a Brahmana, and a Brahmana is expected to be in the mode of goodness. He's supposed to be in the mode of goodness. And some examples of people in mode of goodness are uh, a scientist, a philosopher, and a poet, etc. So the people in mode of goodness are wiser than the people in the modes of passion and ignorance. The person situated in mode of goodness, he has more knowledge than compared to the people in passion and ignorance. So because he has more knowledge than the others, he gets a feeling that I'm smarter than everyone, that I am better than anyone. And in such a way, because of that, because he gets such a feeling, he is entangled in this world. He is conditioned by this mode of material nature. And generally, a person in mode of goodness, he has better living conditions, and he's already happy with what he's doing. So he does not he does not want any further happiness. He's already happy with what he's doing. So he does not want to gain any spiritual knowledge or anything like that. So there is no chance for liberation for a person in mode of goodness. That is how he is conditioned. Then we'll see mode of passion. So the a person in mode of passion, he just wants sense gratification. He is a hankering for material enjoyment. He wants honor in society. He wants a good house. He wants a good family. He wants a good wife. He wants children. And for that, he keeps working. He keeps working so much. And because of that, he's attached to the fruits of his activities. So, a person in mode of passion, he keeps working and then he's attached to the fruits of his activities. And in such a way, he gets entangled in this material world. So, even for a person in mode of passion, there is no chance for liberation because he's attached to all this material happiness, for pride, for honor, for all of this. So, there is no chance for a person who is in mode of passion for liberation because he's conditioned by by that mode. Then mode of ignorance. A mode of ignorance is a complete opposite of mode of passion. So this a person in mode of ignorance, they are always lazy. A person requires 6 hours of sleep, but a person in mode of ignorance, they sleep for 12 hours, 13 hours, they keep sleeping. So a person is lazy, they keep sleeping a lot, and they're always sad and they're always depressed. And because of that depression, they take into intoxication, they drink alcohol and all the other intoxicants, they're addicted to that. So whatever a person does in ignorance, he's just degraded. So that is a mode of ignorance. He's a complete opposite of a person in passion. So even a person in passion does not get liberation. So what to speak of ignorance? And I mean, even a person in mode of goodness does not get liberation. So what to speak of passion and ignorance? Even they won't get liberation because person in ignorance is completely degraded. All the work does just degrade himself. It degrades himself to lower species of life. So, a person in ignorance, he's Sri Prabhupada says he's in madness because one knows that one has to understand that all this is temporary, all this happiness is temporary, but still he keeps working so hard for something which is very permanent. So, he does not understand. I mean, sorry, a person in mode of ignorance, he's mad. He's in madness because all this in this everything in this material world, it is temporary, we understand that, but he does not think about all that. He just wants this temporary happiness. He's not aiming for anything spiritual. So he keeps working so hard without thinking about his soul and thinking about going back to Godhead. So what is the difference between passion and ignorance? Both may perform work, both may do work, but a person in passion, they may, whatever, with some money they earn, sometimes they may open hospitals or charity institutions. They may work for, like, society, betterment of society. But for a person in ignorance, whatever they do, they are degraded. Whatever work they do, it is neither good, it's not good for him. He's just degraded, he's going into darkness. That is the difference between ignorance and passion. Then from in text 6, 7, and 8, the Lord has told about goodness, passion, and ignorance respectively. And in text 9, the Lord is he's summarizing what about the mode of ignorance and passion and goodness. He says that a person in goodness, he's entangled because he thinks he's superior to everyone. Then a person in passion, how is he entangled? Because he's attached to the fruits of his work. And in ignorance, he's just degrading himself, right? So this is how all the three the people in the three modes are conditioned in this material world. Then in text 10, the Lord talks about the competition amongst different modes. So if we see that we are not always in a very good mood, sometimes we are bad, sometimes we are in a bad mood also. So one mode is not always constant. So the a person will be having different types of different modes at different times. It, like, sometimes ignorance might be prominent, sometimes goodness might be prominent, sometimes passion might be prominent. It, all this depends on our karma, the work we do, and our association with whom we are, and the type of food we eat, etc. Or the prominence of modes depends on our on all of this. And to advance in Krishna consciousness, one has to rise above these modes. If one is determined enough, then he can be situated in mode of goodness. He'll be blessed and he can be situated in mode of goodness. But to understand Krishna, to understand the science of God, one has to rise above the mode and he should be situated in pure goodness, which is also known as the Vasudeva state. And in this state, one can understand Krishna and one can advance in Krishna consciousness. So, yeah, in text 10, the Lord says this. And in text 11, 12, and 13, the Lord talks about the effects of three modes. How one is acts when goodness is increased, when passion is increased, and when ignorance increases. So a person in goodness, he's very calm, he's composed, he's peaceful, he's happy, and whatever he does it with deep thinking, and he has a clear mind. He sees things as they are, and he does not react to every small thing, but he responds to it. He does not react very much to it, because yeah, he's very peaceful and he's very calm. But a person in passion, he's usually, like, he's very angry and he wants prestige. He has this self prestige. He thinks that everyone has to respect him, and he's very greedy. He's very money minded. He wants to be better than others. He's very competitive. If one is doing this, then he has to do more than that. So a person in passion, he is very competitive. He just wants this prestige in society, this honor, etc. And he's like very short tempered. A person in ignorance, as we have discussed before, they oversleep, they're depressed, they're lonely. Though they have the ability to do work, they won't even endeavor to do it. They won't even perform their own tasks. Like, I know many of my cousins in US and all, they are lazy to even, like, they don't even take bath, they don't brush their teeth, or they don't do anything like that. They're not even clean themselves, they're even lazy to do that. So yeah, this is the characteristics of a person in ignorance. That is how these three people act, how the person in goodness acts, how a person in passion, and how a person in ignorance acts. So one practical application in this chapter is, in this section, I mean in first section, it is that the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, they bind the conditioned souls to matter, because we have seen how the three different modes, how a person is conditioned to this in this material world. But when one understands that how the three people in three different modes are conditioned, it helps one in the path of self realization, because one can self introspect when one understands how one is conditioned by the three modes. So after discussing the three modes of material nature, the Lord talks about the effect of conditioning by the modes. So from text 14 to 15, he talks about death in different modes. So death in goodness. So whoever dies in the mode of goodness, they will be elevated to higher planetary systems such as Brahmaloka, or passion, who dies in passion, he will take birth back again in this earthly planets. And a person who dies in ignorance, they will be degraded to lower species of life. So usually there is this like mindset. People think that after one attains human life, then he won't be degraded to lower species of life. So over here, that mindset is ruled out. A person who is in ignorance will surely be degraded to lower species of life. If one is serious in his human life, he should take up to the mode of goodness. Then he should be in association of good devotees. Then he will transcend the three modes of material nature, and then he'll be in Krishna consciousness. So that is the aim of human life. Because uh, a person in goodness, passion, and ignorance, they'll again take birth back in this material world, and even a person in ignorance again will be degraded. So one should take up to Krishna consciousness to attain his eternal position, going back home, back to Godhead. So what are the results of activities in different modes of in the different modes of material nature? So results of action in goodness. So a person in goodness, he performs pious activities, and the results of his actions are pure, and he is in full knowledge, and because of that, he attains higher or heavenly planets. Then, um, for a person in passion, whatever work he does is a misery, because he keeps working so hard, he keeps working day and night for some temporary material satisfaction. There is this example of how people like for telling that this is my own house, I have built this is mine, I have paid the money, I have earned this much money. They work so hard for building a skyscraper, for building a big building. A person, how much work he does, he has to uh, uh, go behind and keep building that for years to go on, just for that temporary mental satisfaction, and to tell out to people that this is my building, this is mine. So work in passion is a misery. That is what Srila Prabhupada says. And then in ignorance, results of action in ignorance, it leads to foolishness, madness, illusion. And then because of that, they go to lower species of life. And then even animal killing. Animal killing is due to, one second. Yeah. Animal killing is also due to the mode of ignorance. As I said before, whatever one is doing in mode of ignorance, he is degraded to lower species of life. So even animal killing is due to ignorance. The Lord has provided a person so many vegetables and fruits, but still people go to killing, and because of that, he has to suffer the consequences. Just as how a person, if he has murdered someone, he will surely be hanged. Similarly, a person who kills animals, who slaughters animals, he will surely have to suffer the consequences. He might probably die the same way in his next life. So that is the law of nature. The Lord will not tolerate if any of his children are harmed. So a person who slaughters animals, he's surely to suffer the consequences. So then there is this, people may also ask that what about vegetables? You're eating vegetables, right? So even you're causing harm to them. So what about that? What do you think about that? Is that not harm? Is that not causing any harm to the living entities? So what do you guys think? What is the answer for that? What will you say if one asks that why are you killing, I mean, plucking vegetables? Even that causes harm, that causes pain to the uh, trees and plants. So what do you think? How will you answer this?
I think we are
Anyone?
not uprooting the plants. We are just taking the byproducts.
Okay, yeah. And yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Raviteja Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandot
Hare
Pranam, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Uh, Actually, in my office, if somebody asks, my colleagues, even though Pakistanis or Egyptians, they are very friendly to me. Then I immediately tell, you eat as per your scriptures. Quran में क्या, whatever Quran has told you, that you eat. Halal and something they differentiate, na. So I tell, my Bhagavad Gita says that you have to eat patram pushpam phalam toyam. So my God has given permission for eating this, so I eat this like that. Simply, we have friendly conversation, then I will tell that. But better than that, you can tell me. Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes. So, does anyone else want to add any points? If any opinion? Okay. So, when we are killing animals, it causes so much pain to them. We all know that, right? But for vegetables, by the Lord's grace, their pain, like when we are plucking it, the level of tolerance is less. It won't cause them so much pain. By Krishna's arrangement, that they have that sensitivity to pain, so it won't hurt them so much. And when we are plucking these vegetables, when we are cooking it, and when we are offering it to Krishna, even these vegetables, they achieve a higher platform of life. So that is how this question can be answered, because the vegetables have least sensitivity to pain. It won't hurt them very much when we pluck it, and when we are offering these vegetables to the Lord, even they attain a higher position in life. They attain a higher platform of life. That is how this question can be answered. Then I'll just summarize what we have seen and how. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Radhitha. You should put it other way. You should not say it is least sensitive. You should say they have very low consciousness. Level of consciousness is low.
Okay.
Okay, that is how you should put it. And secondly, you should say that the Lord Himself has designated or told that these are the things that human beings need to or they can take. That is how it is.
Yes,
Okay,
Mataji.
beta. So first is they have very low level of consciousness. Chada. Okay. The second
Yes.
point is the Lord Himself has prescribed that this is what the human beings should eat, and He has also said that with this only your gray cells, your gray cells would be nourished. I mean, your body would be nourished, and this is the way when you eat using. He said no. What kind of foods to be taken in the mode of goodness and all?
Mm.
When you eat
Mm.
these kind of foodstuffs, that will help you move towards spirituality. That is what it is. And hence, therefore, our body, digestive system, everything is also, it's for herbivorous. It's not carnivorous.
Yeah.
They're all herbivores, yeah? So even our body system is also designed in such a way to only take fruits and vegetables and grains.
Mm.
Okay, beta, that is how we have to answer this question. Okay?
Yes.
Mataji, then they will ask about the animal products like milk, curd, butter.
That also it is the milk. The Lord Himself says that the milk from the cow. See what you should do. You should not artificially milk the cow. But when does a cow give a milk? When it has given birth to a baby calf, right? Calf. So that is the time, and also you should allow the calf to drink the milk, and then the milk, what excess is produced, that should be consumed for the family. But nowadays, what they do is they unnecessarily give them some, steroids and make them produce more milk, and in the process, slowly they kill the animal itself, and they don't allow the calf to lick the milk of the cow. This is a problem. But if that is not done, that is the reason Prabhupada is also all great souls who know this science. They say that we should drink the milk and we should see when the cow is being milked. And we should allow the calf to drink the mother's milk, suck the mother's milk. And then we should not artificially induce the cow to produce more milk. That is what we have to understand. Okay, Mata, if that is taken
Yes,
care, there is no harm in taking milk and milk products. Because Krishna himself was drinking milk, Krishna himself was taking butter. But if you are commercializing it and trying to give steroids and all other things, and honestly making the cow give milk, and from that milk you want to make money, that is most offensive. That is abominable activity.
Then Mataji, what milk we are getting, we really don't know which kind of milk it
Correct.
is.
Exactly right. Exactly right. But for this, in this regard, Jai Adiswa Maharaj, he gave very good answer. He said, You are in this age of Kali Yuga. What else can you expect? You cannot expect anything pure. So this is what you can get, and this is what you have to consume.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yeah, go ahead, Bit.
Yeah. So now this is just a table just summarizing what we have seen till now about how the people in three modes are conditioned. Then, after talking about after the Lord, he talks about after the Lord talks about how the different people in the modes are conditioned. He says that how one can he talks about how one can transcend these modes of um, material nature in this section. So in text 19, the Lord says that one who sees that all the causes of the work which we are doing is because of the modes, and if he understands that the Lord is transcendental to it, then he will surely attain. He will surely be free from the pranks of material nature. And the Lord says in text 20, he says that when one can surpass the modes of material nature, then he will be free from birth, death, old age. So, after the Lord says that one has to surpass the modes of material nature, then Arjuna has a question. He asks three questions in text 21. He asks, what are the symptoms of a gunatita? Gunatita is a person who has transcended the modes of material nature. So he asks, what are the symptoms of a person of a gunatita? What is his behavior? And what is the process of transcending these different modes of material nature? So the Lord answers Arjuna. He says that a person, the Gunatita, he is free from envy and hankering, and he is not affected by false honor or dishonor, and he has no desire to enjoy the body, nor he has any desire to get out of it. And whatever he does it for Krishna. And he's always in a stable position. He's not affected by anything. The only thing he cares about is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has no desire to enjoy, nor he has no desire to even come out of this body. The only thing he wants is to serve the Lord, and he does not care what others think of him. He does not care if people honor him or dishonor him. The only thing he wants to do is to serve the Lord. Hence, he's steady in all circumstances. That is the characteristic of a. Then Arjuna's what was Arjuna's last question? Arjuna asked how to transcend the modes of material nature. So in text 26, the Lord answers this. He says, Mamchayo vyabhicharyena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at one transcends the modes of material nature, and he thus comes to the level of Brahman. So, a person who engages himself in devotional service, um, he transcends the modes of material nature, and he has to understand that whatever is happening in this material world, it is due to the three modes of material nature, and he should not engage in the work caused by the three modes, but rather he should engage himself in performing devotional service to the Lord. And by naturally focusing on the Supreme Lord, he will then transcend the modes of material nature, because he is not engaging in the works done by the works caused by the material modes. He's not affected by that. And then in the ending, he says, one who does this, one who performs devotional service unto me, he will come to the level of Brahman, that is qualitative equality with Krishna. That means he'll be same as in quality as Krishna. How can we understand that? That we can understand by an analogy. So, to be in Krishna consciousness or in devotional service means to acquire equality with Krishna, that we have discussed before. Then the Lord says that his nature is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge, and the living entities are the part and parcel of the Supreme, as the gold particles are a part of the gold mine. Thus, the living entity in his spiritual position is as good as gold, as good as Krishna in quality. So a person who perform devotional service will attain Brahman. But the goal of a devotee is not Brahman realization, but he wants to serve the Lord. So the Lord says that I am in the next verse, he's saying that I am the basis of Brahman. So you perform devotional service unto me. So he says, Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasvasya, one second, amritasya vyavasya cha शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च. Translation: And I am the basis of impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. So, Krishna said that by bhakti, one will attain me, and I am the I am the basis of Brahman. So, again, he is telling to perform bhakti yoga, because bhakti yoga includes Brahman realization. And if one directly goes in Brahman realization, there is a possibility for him to fall down. But if one performs bhakti yoga, then he will surely perfect and he will go back home, back to Godhead. And even the Brahman realization is, bhakti yoga is bhakti yoga includes Brahman realization. So the safest platform is to perform bhakti and worship the Lord. So the Lord is saying that I am the basis of impersonal Brahman, so you worship me. That is what the Lord is saying, and that's how he ends this chapter. So we have seen that these three modes of material nature, they condition a living entity in this material world, and he gets entangled in this material world, and there is no chance of liberation if he's in the three modes of material nature. So he has to transcend these three modes of material nature to go to perform eternal service to the Lord. And how can he perform this eternal service to the Lord? He can how can he transcend these three modes of material nature? That he can do by performing unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. And then we discuss the characteristics of a person who has transcended these three modes of material nature. He does not care if he's honored or dishonored. And he's stable in all situations, and he's always calm, and he's always serving the Lord. And he does not want to enjoy this body, nor he wants to leave it, nor he wants to he's not affected by any of that. That is what we have seen in this chapter. Then the practical application in this chapter is, when one desires neither attainment of pleasure nor escape from pain, he has transcended the modes of material nature. That is the quality of a person who has transcended the mode of material nature. He does not desire any pleasure, nor he wants to escape from any pain he's having. Then one has to understand that the embodied soul in this material world, you will always undergo some loss or gain, but a liberated soul, he's unaffected by all of this. He's just focusing on serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the characteristics of a person who has transcended the modes of material nature. Then I would like to summarize this chapter by an acronym. The acronym is TRAPPED, just as how we are trapped in this material world because of the three modes of material nature. So T stands for three modes. That is what is discussed from text 1 to 9, which the Lord discusses about the three modes of material nature. That is the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and how these three modes condition a jiva in this material world. And R is race for prominence, as we talked in text 10, that one mode is not always there, it's not constant, but the one, sometimes ignorance is prominent, sometimes passion is prominent, sometimes goodness is prominent, and that depends on our past karma and our association with whom we are around, and the type of foods we eat. So R stands for race of prominence, and A is for actions in the modes. We saw how action in passion leads to misery, and how a person in ignorance is degraded, and how a person acts in goodness lead to happiness. And P is for pure life from 19 to 27, where the Lord is talking about how one can transcend these modes of material nature and go attain and perform eternal unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. So when one understands these three modes of material nature and how it's conditioning one, then he's able to self introspect. He's able to then uh, transcend these modes of material nature and then go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So with this, I would like to conclude. Please forgive me. I've stuttered a lot in the middle, so please forgive me if I made any mistakes. I just tried to tell what I've just understood. So please correct me if I've made any mistakes today.
Hare Krishna, Radhitha. Thank you, Radhitha, for a nice class. Like, in fact, the last 6 chapters, the last section, I would say, from 13 to 18, they're all technical chapters. It's not very easy for even very nice, who to say, the regular speakers also to speak on these chapters. And I should really say that you're all doing a wonderful, a wonderful job here, because to understand, first of all, to understand itself is difficult. These matters, because it talks about Prakriti, Purusha, modes of material nature, consciousness, all these technical things, and you're all trying to digest that and then present it. So this needs lot of courage. I really hats off to all of you for taking up these subject matters and trying to discuss. So absolutely fine, Petra. The Lord sees the efforts. He doesn't see what's the outcome. Outcome lies in His hands. We need to only do our efforts. So I'm very happy and thankful that you're all doing a wonderful job here and trying to praise the glories of Bhagavad Gita. So, for those of you who are attending the class the first time of Radhitha, Radhitha is the dear daughter of His Grace Raghunandana Gaurangadas Prabhu and Her Grace Ushati Sita Devi Dasi Mata. She just finished her grade 12 and she is joining engineering in Chennai. She has already got a placement, seat there, and her classes will be starting from the first week of or last week of August, something like that. Yeah, yeah. So we wish her all the very best. 2020.
Yes.
Plus 20. Okay. Very best to you. So just another hardly not even full 2 weeks left. Okay, so wish you all the very best, Radhita, for your academics and for definitely for your spiritual growth. And like most of you must have heard, Radhita is a very wonderful kirtaniya. She plays very good harmonium also and mridangam also. Just learn mridangam also. So we pray for your spiritual growth as well as your material growth. Okay, beta? So anyone has any questions? Before I ask a couple of questions to Radhi.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Radhita. Mataji, I want to know one thing. When you were explaining about the death in different modes, like death in goodness, death in passion, and like that. So when death in goodness, we will attain a higher planetary, higher planets. Yeah,
Yes.
higher planets. And when we die, death in passion, we will take birth again on earth and receive our fruitful activities, fruit of our activities. So I heard, or this thing, this is the wise person, they want to take birth again as a human being just to correct their previous karma and be involved in more devotional service. When we are in the higher planetary system, there are less chances of get in the devotional service.
So,
Is it true?
what is the question, Mataji?
The thing is that when we attain the higher planetary system after death, there are less chances of getting association or devotional, getting into the devotional service, and less chances to go to Goloka Dhama. But when we die in passion and
No, Mataji, it's
passion,
not like there is less chances or
it
uh-huh.
is, yeah, it is. I heard like that, or maybe I don't know. I need to clarify this.
Okay. Shall I step in, Radhitha?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mata.
Okay. See, Radhitha, the question from Mata is, now here what it says in this particular verses section from 14 to 18, it is talking about how the material modes of nature work, especially in terms of living our body. Correct? So it says,
Yes, ma'am.
when you are living in the mode of goodness, you are elevated to higher planets. If you are in passion, then you take back human species, or you come back. And when you are in tamas, then you fall down to animal species. Correct? But finally, it says the actual point is we have to become gunatita, because even just rising to this platform of sattva is also not helpful, but you have to transcend all three modes of material nature. That is the most important understanding in verse 14 and 15. Mataji's question here is, but at the same time, when you say rajas is passion and you take human birth, but at the same time, it is also said that people, great souls want to take birth in this material world so that they can go back to Godhead. How to understand this? It seems to be contradictory. That is, Nupur Mata, did I understand your question correctly?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, correct. Yes, Mataji.
This is what she's trying to ask, Beta.
So okay, that means the devotees who have have the chance to attain liberation also, but they want to come back to this material world.
No, fine.
No,
Let me answer the question of Nupur Mata. Okay, Nupur Mata, you have to understand that this particular section, if you see, it is talking about Jnana Yoga. And if you see the very first verse of this particular chapter, which says, Param Bhuyaha Pravakshyami Gnananam Gnanam Uttamam Yat Gnatva Munayah Sarve Param Siddhim Ito Gataha. That's what it says. So we have to understand that this chapter or this particular knowledge, what Krishna is giving, is for a jnani. First and foremost thing we have to understand, here Krishna doesn't say this is for a bhakta. That is the first aspect we have to understand. And Krishna also says bhuyaha. Bhuyaha means I am repeating again. In fact, Krishna has not talked about these three modes of material nature earlier. But here he is giving an analysis of all the three modes. Because ultimately, these three modes culminates in devotional service. And why he is saying Bhuya? Because about devotional service he's spoken earlier, but now he is going to link that modes of material nature, how it will culminate to devotional service. That is why he used the Bhuyaha, but basically this is for the Munayaha, that means for the Jnanis. That is the most important thing we have to understand here, Mata. So if you understand this very first verse, then all, because this is referring to not a devotee, but to a gnani. How a gnani should transcend, because as we all know, and the children also have told very nicely in the very first class itself, how the below base represents the karma yoga, the topmost bit represents the gnana part, and the middle one corresponds to the bhakti part. So, except for bhakti yoga, both gnana yoga, karma yoga, or the gnana yoga, you cannot perfect them without a tinge of bhakti yoga. So, bhakti yoga is kept in the middle because dana and karma do not have any standalone. They cannot stand by themselves. So, there should be an element of bhakti in it. And to those people who are in the Gnana Marga, for them to bring back to bhakti, that is why Krishna is giving this entire section, entire chapter he's talking about. That is why he's giving an analysis of the three modes of material nature, and he's giving it in detail. So if you go, especially to the verses that you, so if you understand this concept, the rest of the question is easily answered. That is why he is not talking about the bhaktas here. He is talking about those who are jnanis, That is why those who leave their body in a mode of goodness, they go to higher planets. And those who leave their body in the force of passion, they come to the material world. And the third one, they drill down, they go down to the animal species. This is how we have to understand this verse, Mata. Okay, so here it is not talking about the bhakta. And one more point, what you said was, yes, those who go to the higher planetary systems, because they have excessive sense enjoyment and sense gratification, their chances of diverting or coming towards devotional service becomes very lean. That is why devotees don't aspire for any going to Svargaloka. They don't aspire. So your question corresponds to a bhakta who is aspiring to be. He doesn't aspire for liberation. He doesn't aspire for any higher planetary systems, but he does not mind coming repeatedly in this material world, because only in this material world you can still perform services, and from in this material platform, in this Bhuloka, you can go back to the Krishna Loka. That is why. So they are two different things, Mata. This is how we have to understand this chapter. Does it help you, Madhupur Mata?
Yes, Mataji, thank you so much. But Mataji, just like there are levels of bhaktas also. Like for us neophytes, we are performing, we are trying to perform the devotional service. But like sometimes we are in good mode of goodness. Like sometimes we are very happy, sometimes distress also. Like then what is like how to take it? Like for bhaktas, like how we'll get, how what we will get.
Of us in our daily life in the 24-hour cycle, all these three modes play. Early the morning mode of goodness, as the day goes by, it is passion, then ignorance. That is how the whole thing goes off. And always there's a combination, acting always in these three modes. So the only way is, the more you are in devotee association, you will be in sattva, and then you will slowly transcend beyond sattva. That is why Prabhupada often compares these three modes as three different chains. Like you're shackled by the iron chains when it is tama, you're shackled by the silver chains when you're in passion, you're shackled by gold chains when you're in sattva. But ultimately, shackle is a shackle. You have to cut off from all the different kinds of shackles. That is what he says. So when you transcend all three modes, that is why he talks about guna theta. That is why in question number 21, Arjuna is asking this question about the guna theta, and Krishna answers. Yeah, this is how we have to 21, and in the subsequent 21 he asked a question and Krishna answers what's his symptoms is known, what is his behavior, and what's the process of transcending. That is why he says 22 and 23 to 25 he answered, and 26 is a crest jewel verse of this particular chapter. That is why he says Mam chayo avyabhicharena. Avyabhichara means, vyabhachari means what? Vyabhachari means one who is not chaste. Avyabhachari means one who is chaste. So we should be very, very chaste in our devotion towards the Supreme Lord. That is why he is saying, Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti
Bhakti
yoga
yogena sevate.
sagunam
Sagunam
bhavati taitan
samhitaitan.
brahma
Brahma
bhuyaya.
bhuyaya kalpate.
So when you engage in full devotional service, very chaste, as a chaste wife, chastely, then we will transit the three modes of material nature. Until then, you are kashati, you are constantly struggling in these three modes of material nature. So that will come only in due course of time, Mata. By constant practice and continuous devotional service in the association of devotees.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you, Radhitha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think Devyani wants to say something. Devyani?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, my grandmother, we preached her about Krishna. We told her that in this old age, her main worry is, she is feeling very lonely. She is feeling very bored. She is telling, I don't have anything to think. So we tell her, okay, you don't think in unnecessary things. You read Bhagavad Gita, but she doesn't seem interested. So when she is in death, then obviously she might not remember Krishna. So for her, if I pray to Lord, what will be her destination? I am practicing bhakti. I am praying to Lord so that she doesn't have any troubles. So is that effective for her?
Sorry, I was in mute. Yeah, prayers also make a lot of difference. You can pray for others. Like there are many prayers in Bhagavatam also, wherein there are prayers uh, for others' welfare, others' benefit. And that does make, yes, Krishna, because answers, because Krishna reciprocates with the devotee when he's like, for instance, when we had the Advaita Charya, he prayed to the Lord to appear, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, right? So he was praying for the well-being of the people of Kali Yuga. Correct? He was in devotional service. He was constantly meditation of the Lord, Supreme Lord. But then he was very compassionate, and he was striving or crying and praying for the upliftment of all the other general mass of people in the age of Kali Yuga. So the Lord appeared. Similarly, the devotee sees the purity of the devotee's call, and when you are crying to the Lord for the benefit of other soul, definitely the Lord will reciprocate. Maybe she'll be placed in a family where there is already devotional practices already happening, or in a very in that way she'll be able to get a chance to perform devotional activity, but not that she will go back to Krishna in this very lifetime, because she herself on her own has not performed. But your piety or your prayers will help her to be placed. This is called Agyata Sukruti. Without even she knowing, you're praying for somebody. This is called the causeless mercy of a devotee. So you, as a devotee, are giving your causeless mercy onto that soul, so that she is placed in such a family, so that she can cultivate her bhakti, or she can take up the process of bhakti. Does it help you, Devyani?
Yes, Mataji, it's clear.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Any questions? Anything? Any comments? Any words of encouragement for Radhitha?
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
You
please.
children are doing good thing. Radhita, very easily here, I am seeing continuously you are coming to this program, very actively participating. So you definitely will transcend the mood. Even though the atmosphere changed up to now, you are in a great shelter in Shamdesh and with your mother and father. Now you maybe atmosphere may be changed, you will be in the hostel. Definitely the way you given the lectures and you're reading the scriptures, I definitely feel you will transcend the moods. And my question is the devotees, great devotees who are building up the temples and doing great sevas. So what will be their mood actually? How we can consider that mood? Is it sattva or passion or okay, may not be means third one. In these two, in which mood the type of great things people are doing? Hare Krishna.
No, that constructing temples for the Lord is devotional service, right? Like that is service to the Lord. So I think that is they're above the mode of goodness. They're I think
Maybe
that
Sachin
can
Mataji.
transcend. But if it's like hospitals, if it's something else, then maybe it might be passion. But I think temples and all is devotional service to the Lord, it's for the Lord. So I think they're I don't know.
In, in
Sachivan.
chapter in chapter number 12, I think Krishna gives different gradations. If not this, do this. If not this, do this. If not this, do this. Correct? So, if they are only contributing their what to say, their dhana, that if they're doing only what to say, giving their money, wealth, and they themselves are not performing any kind of devotional service, then it only becomes only a pious activity. Yeah, because that means what? It is like helping the others, propagating Krishna consciousness. It comes in that category. They themselves, but they are well wishers. We call, no, we say they are well wishers, but they are not themselves chanting. I think it comes in which that gradations. No, let me see. He gives, right. He gives the different gradations. If not this, you do this. If not this, you do this. He gives all that.
The 17th or 18th chapter, I think, Mataji.
I don't recollect. I'll give the reference. No, it is splitting. I'm not able to see anything. 17th, Prabhu? 1 minute, let me check.
17th, Mataji, 17th.
Let me check. The divisions of faith, no, that is different.
Mataji, 12.12, Mataji.
Okay, that's
12.
12th chapter, yeah. That's what I felt.
12.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
12.12 it is.
No, not that. There is one more verse. He gives 3 different gradations. I'll come back to you. 12.12, okay, Dana, that one, but there is one more. Prabhu, 17th, which verse, Prabhu? Can you tell me? In this where it's very nicely given. Or is it 9th one? I'll come back to you, dear, on this question. Okay, wherein Prabhupada gives very nice, wonderful examples also. He says, as far as recollect, it is 12th chapter only. I'll tell you, it is in 12th chapter.
17.7, even the food each person prefer is of 3 kinds, according to 3 modes of material nature. The same is true of sacrifice, austerity, charity. Now here distinction between them.
Sorry, it is 12th chapter. Progressive level. See, work for Krishna. See. It is all that only. You can go to the 12th chapter from 8 to 12, progressive levels of bhakti. Okay, in that only it is there. You can go very nicely and read the purports of Prabhupada, wherein he says very clearly that all these kinds of activities, he says, if not this, you can do this also. Okay, so they're all progressive levels, beta.
Yeah, we have to fix our mind to the Lord by
Yeah,
devotional
if
service.
not,
If we
yeah,
cannot do that, we have to work for Krishna. If that we
yeah,
cannot do, we have to leave our fruits of karma onto unto
yeah,
Him. And
yeah,
if that also, then we have to do renunciation and all
yeah,
that.
yeah, yes. Why? See, why? Because at least they feel that I'm not the proprietor, no? So gradually they bring. So you go to those verses. Shreyo hi gnanam apyasa gnanam dhyanam shishite. Dhyanat karma phalatyaga tyaga shantir anantaram. Yeah. So, yeah. See, direct. If you see, in summary, to reach supreme purpose, the highest goal, the 2 processes. One process gradual and the process direct. Devotional service is direct. The other process are indirect. And there he also says how you can do slowly. So coming back to the question of Raviteja Prabhu, just building temples without that concerned person himself practicing Krishna consciousness, that is only a kind of wherein he is giving his artha. Artha means his wealth. He is giving in building temples. But okay, he will get some piety, but then that is not but he will gradually move forward. That is what we have to understand. But it is better that building just those welfare activities like building hospitals or orphanages, that comes into welfare activity that will give to pious and impious results. But this will this will bring you towards the path of devotee service. That is the difference. Over there is a question of pious and impious. Okay, only building hospitals, things like that. But here, because you're doing something directly in relationship with Krishna or building Vishnu temples, so it gives you devotion. So in one of the lecture I was hearing, let me finish this, you'll get more clarity. In one of the lecture I was hearing, wherein, suppose, what is your intention? Suppose you say to the Lord, oh my dear Lord, I'm building you this wonderful temple so that I may be able to get a palatial bungalow. If that with that intention, if you're building a temple, then the Lord will give you only a bungalow. But if you think, oh my dear Lord, whatever Shakti, I'm trying to building a temple, it seems the Lord by default will give you devotion. So the first, always the default is devotion. What the Lord awards you is default is devotion. But if you specifically ask for something, because this example was given, like suppose you're doing some annadana. Annadana as such is a welfare activity, correct? So that comes under piety. But if you're doing annadana, say in Vrindavan Dham to the Brajavasis, and if you're thinking, oh, Brajavasis are the devotees of Krishna, so let me do annadana, then that is direct devotional service. But if you do not know, and if you're just doing annadana just because you've come to Vrindavan without thinking of that way also, without even thinking that because the devotees of Krishna you're doing and you just did, but still it seems the Lord will put in the category of devotion only for you and he'll award you devotion. But if you're doing a annadana, say in some other place, say in Bangalore, Delhi, somewhere, just like that, not connected to any dham, then it will go as a piety and not devotional service. These are the three different things that we have to understand. Got it better? Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Fine. So if you are done for today, thanks to all of you. So you can do the Vaishnav Pranam Mantra, Radhitha. And
Mataji, one more thing. Radhitha has given the examples of scientists, philosophers, and poets who are in mode of goodness. I think they are more in passion now because they are enjoying the material, this thing, and totally indulge in the material activities.
in what context you gave, Radhi?
Mataji, I said examples of people in goodness are philosophers, scientists, etc.
Poets.
Okay. Scientists are more, okay, in one sense you may take their more, you said in mode of passion, what did you say? Goodness.
I said mode of goodness.
But I feel like they should be in mode of passion because they are doing more for the material nature.
You go, okay.
Hare Krishna, if intention is with the intention, the modes will change. If a scientist he creates something for the welfare of humanity, that we can treat as a goodness. Otherwise, with for the distraction of the humanity, that will go as a passion. I think like that maybe.
Yeah, most important, the intent also matters. And philosophers, maybe if he's like Dani, philosophical thinking about Krishna, maybe that is goodness. But usually it is mode of passion. I don't know in what context you told Radhi, or if you have some reference, you can share with me and we'll clarify. Okay, better? Because if you have taken Prabhupada's purport, there'll be some reason. He will not just give like that. There'll be a reason why he has given. So, but if you're telling from your own some examples, then maybe that needs to be looked into. But nevertheless, you check and let me know. Okay, beta?
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay.
So you may do the Vaishnav Pranam Mantra.
Yes, Mataji. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Radhe.
Krishna.
Anyway, thank you, Radhitha.
Mataji, that in 14.6, Prabhupada said, Mataji, in the purport. I took it from the notes by Gauranga Priya Prabhu. I'll just send that to you, Mataji.
But let me check it. 14.6, right?
Yes.
See. Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvam Prakash. In what context he is saying this? He is saying, how to the condition, okay, Mataji, to answer your question. Okay. See, in the mode of goodness, what is the problem with the mode of goodness? A person who is the mode of goodness, he feels that he's contented, he's happy, he's better off than others because he becomes proud because of his knowledge. In that context, he's saying, and he's saying such people are like the scientist and the philosopher. That is what he's saying here. See, the difficulty is that when the living, see, this is a in what sense I should say, this is like a danger. So the difficulty, okay. Actually, in the Vedic literature, it is said that the mode of goodness means greater knowledge and a greater sense of happiness. That is the actual meaning of mode of goodness. Yes. So,
Yes.
and then that he says, the difficulty here is that the living entity is such a mode of goodness, he becomes conditioned to feel that he's advanced his knowledge and is better than others. And the examples are scientists and philosophers.
That is
is
for
what
that
he says.
reference. That is for that reference, not
In
for the
that
goodness.
reference, because scientists and philosophers, they feel that they have
are
greater
happy.
knowledge than others. I'm well off.
Yeah.
That
Yes,
is, in that sense, he is giving that example. Okay, in that sense, is
okay, Mataji. I understood.
We have to see the content. That's why I said, if Prabhupada has given, there'll be a meaning for it. Anyway, thank you, Radhi. Thank you. Thanks for giving the reference immediately. We could clarify Mataji's question. Okay. Thank you, Nupur Mata. Good.
Thank you.
You know, actually, this is not wrong. Your question is not wrong. The reason being, that means you're trying to connect and read in between the lines. We should always do like that. There is a good way of scrutinizing, studying the scriptures. Thank you, Mata. Your questions are welcome.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thanks to all of you. Thanks for being every day encouraging the children. I request you to continue your encouragement for the few more rest of the sessions, and wishing all the children the very best. And we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Same time, same link. Hare Krishna. Take care, beta. Okay? All the very best. Hare Krishna. So with your kind permission, I will end the session here today. Yeah?